4 years and one laptop. Thousands of hours, hundreds of assignments, and countless charges later, I tell you why most students should still buy it in 2025. But first, which laptop am I even talking about? Of course, I'm talking about the base model M1 MacBook Air, coming with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. Now, I know somebody just scoffed at the specs, but give me a moment here. So as a student, I start my day with a bunch of tabs. I would have multiple Canvas assignments open, Google Docs, and loads of notes and ChatGPT on the side. I also had a separate section for entertainment, like YouTube videos or anime I want to watch later. To be honest, on a bad day with loads of tabs open, the 8GB of RAM did struggle a little bit. On normal days with fewer tabs open, maybe around 10 to 20, it ran like butter. And professional apps like Lightroom and other editors can run and render very smoothly. You can expect little to no lag inside of these apps. It still struggles with crazy effects, color grading, and high professional work. But for what it is, you can be highly productive with this device. And this type of performance, even though not shown on paper, is just unheard of at this price. Which you may be asking, what even is the price? Well, right now, if you go online, you can easily get a decent condition or refurbished one for $300. And I'm gonna be honest, at that price, it's pretty much a steal for any student. Just using the software, interacting with the apps, and the overall performance, this MacBook still feels fast and snappy. I would even say it starts less than my gaming PC. And that's just how Macs are. This being their first in-house chip, everything is just optimized, both the hardware and software. Like, I get that macOS is very limited in what it can do, but the things that it actually can do is very, very efficient. And conveniently, most productivity workloads can be done on macOS. And speaking of macOS, it is probably one of my favorite things about this MacBook. I'm not really sure how much longer Apple is going to keep updating this device, but currently at this time, it updates to the latest software. And say what you want about Liquid Glass, it is just crazy how modern this software feels like after 5 years. Compared to Windows, macOS just feels a lot cleaner. Don't get me wrong, there are some annoying gimmicks that make me want to boil my head with macOS. Like sometimes it just feels so slow. Not the laggy kind, but there are just too many animations and other things just to split screen. Like, I don't know if this is just me, but something about the OS having fewer gimmicks and other things happening at once just allows me to focus a lot easier. Like, I get that you can't run CSGO and your 100 other Steam games, but that's why I think it's so great for students. The only thing that can run on macOS is productivity work. And even with this decently high workload, battery life is just amazing. It can easily last all day, and even 2 days with some optimization. Truly, Macs are just the best when it comes to battery life. It's not even a competition at this point. It might be the only device where I just do not have to worry about carrying a charger. Now, speaking of charging and ports, here's my first issue, and that's that the M1 MacBook Air only has 2 USB-C Thunderbolt ports. Your mouse, HDMI, DisplayPort, SD cards, your keyboard just cannot be connected. However, you can easily get a dongle for all of these, so it's not really a deal breaker. But it's definitely annoying when you forget to bring your dongle. And actually, the ports make a lot of sense when you realize how thin the MacBook Air really is, and that most ports wouldn't even fit on here. A shoulder bag, backpack, pouch, or really most bags just won't be affected with how thin this MacBook Air is. Now, combine this with the fully aluminum design, this might be the best build quality and design at this price. Next to the new models and much more expensive device, this MacBook still looks very modern. It's really crazy how sleek this laptop really is when you consider that there are no fans at all. You might even wonder how heat is even dispersed with so little room, but somehow it just pulls it off. The M1 is just so efficient that overheating is not even an issue. Now, I'm not gonna lie to your face and say that this laptop doesn't get hot for rendering or gaming, but when you consider other devices with fans, it's pretty much the same with these workloads, just minus the crazy loud fans. It's for the person who actually brings this laptop around, outside, with a bunch of people around. Everything so far about the M1 Air sounds like a $1,000 laptop, so there has to be some other flaw. Well, no. Not really. The display here is one of the best features. It's a 13.3 inch 2560 by 1600 Retina panel that has a 227 pixel density, P3 color, and gets 400 nits bright. And to translate you these specs, consuming video is just amazing. I honestly like these displays over my main monitors. Okay, so how about the speakers? Well, still not really a weak point. It gets loud enough to listen to music or watch videos without headphones. Even with the small space inside, the separation, the clarity, and the impact is good enough to have a good experience. And finally, the keyboard. Okay, this is where the M1 Air feels cheap. And you'll be wrong. The keyboard has a quiet, tactile experience. The experience is not on a mechanical keyboard level, but it's one of the best experiences for a laptop. However, after 4 years, there's definitely a noticeable keycap shine on the keyboard. But I think this is something you can expect for all keyboards. And the cherry on top, the trackpad is also good. It's large, easy to use, and has okay feedback. In the end, I'm not gonna say anything bad about the M1 MacBook Air. Any limitation and issues just comes with using macOS. And the best parts of using a MacBook still comes with this device. The best optimization, smooth software, and one of the best designs on any laptop. And for just 300 bucks, you're not finding something this strong in every department. The efficiency is the only reason why you can get this type of performance at this price. And don't even get me started on the pure popularity of this laptop, making the resale market really good. I'll say the only reason why you wouldn't buy this laptop is because you have more budget to spend. If I were you and had a little bit extra money, I would buy the M2 and even the M3 or M4, which is still very good value for what they are, and they would be more feature-proof for software updates. But they aren't as crazy of a deal like the M1 Air. So yeah, if I was a student and I really needed a laptop for 300 bucks, I would just get a used or refurbished M1 Air. That's pretty much all I got. Peace.